The Indiana Fever marked their return to WNBA action with a thrilling and intense 98-89 victory over the Phoenix Mercury at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Friday night. The win was significant for the Fever, as it sealed a season sweep over the Mercury, further solidifying their place in the league's standings. With this victory, the Fever now sit at 12-15, holding the 7th spot in the WNBA rankings. The Fever's dynamic duo, Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, spearheaded the team's offensive efforts, combining for a staggering 57 points. Clark, the electrifying rookie out of Iowa, was in exceptional form, scoring 29 points in her first game back after a month-long break due to the Olympic hiatus. She showcased her all-around game by adding 10 assists and 5 rebounds, securing a double-double that highlighted her versatility and star potential. Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever's seasoned guard, had a season-high performance with 28 points. Together, Clark and Mitchell led a balanced attack, with 4 Fever players finishing in double figures. Their scoring prowess and leadership were crucial in maintaining the Fever's momentum, especially as tensions ran high throughout the game. The Fever set the tone early, taking full advantage of a well-rested squad that had remained stateside during the Olympic break. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Mercury, dealing with fatigue and injuries from the grueling Olympic schedule, struggled to keep up. The Mercury had 4 key players, Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Kahleah Copper, and Beck Allen, compete in Paris, and their lack of rest was evident. Indiana stormed out to a commanding 22-9 lead within the first 6 minutes of the game, with Clark unstoppable on the offensive end. Clark's 13 points in the opening quarter, punctuated by a highlight reel cross-court assist to Kelsey Mitchell, brought the crowd to its feet, including Pacers All-Star and Olympic gold medalist Tyrese Halliburton, who watched from courtside. The Fever extended their lead to as much as 28 points in the first half, dominating Phoenix to take a 48-20 advantage midway through the second quarter. However, the Mercury, known for their resilience, mounted a fierce comeback. They went on a 20-3 run that spanned the end of the second quarter and the start of the third, eventually cutting into Indiana's lead and even briefly taking the lead themselves. This was a familiar scenario for Indiana. The last time these two teams met on July 12, the Fever had also built a substantial lead, only for Phoenix's Kahleah Copper to lead a near comeback. In that game, the Fever managed to hang on for a 9-point victory, and history seemed to be repeating itself. One of the game's pivotal moments came in the fourth quarter when Mercury center Brittany Griner was called for her 5th foul with 7 minutes remaining. Griner, a towering presence at 6'9", had been a significant challenge for the Fever's frontcourt, particularly for Aliyah Boston, who stands 5 inches shorter. Griner's size and skill gave her a clear advantage on the boards and in the paint, but the Fever strategically drew fouls on her throughout the game. Griner's 3rd foul came with 6 minutes left in the first half, forcing Mercury coach Nate Tibbetts to bench her for most of the remaining half. This allowed Indiana to exploit Phoenix's lack of size, particularly in rebounding and scoring in the paint. By halftime, with Griner limited to just 9 minutes of play, the Fever held a 24-18 edge on the boards. Griner's foul trouble came to a head in the fourth quarter, and her absence during critical moments allowed the Fever to regain control. During the brief period she was on the bench after her 5th foul, Indiana went on a 5-2 run. While it may not seem significant, this small burst of scoring provided the Fever with the breathing room they needed to secure the win. Griner finished the game with just 10 points on 3 of 6 shooting in 25 minutes of play. The intensity of the game was palpable, with tempers flaring on both sides. Early in the game, Diana Taurasi, the Mercury's veteran guard, received a technical foul for comments made to the referees after Clark drew a foul on Griner. As the game progressed, Mercury